Give me 1 second while I sync up both cameras here. I'm trying something new. Greetings, unsettled souls, and welcome to the Correct Views. Now, I'm not sure how this is going to work, because originally this show started on Google Hangouts. And it has since moved, of course, as you know, things progress. A lot of people find this on Facebook when I repost it. So I'm now going to try to do the live stream on YouTube at the same time that I am doing the live stream on Facebook. And I'm pretty sure this will lock everything up and just about ruin everything. But we're going to go ahead and try to do the show on both fronts. It's the Dunce Cap of the Month award show, and it highlights the stupidest people who live in our society. Now, I don't know if Facebook, as I dip with this, I don't know if Facebook is going to, yeah, you can see. Good. You'll be able to see what I'm reading. Google people, you will always have the same option you always did. If you're a new viewer, give me a minute because I'm now working in multiple areas here. And good. All right, we got the screen share up, and all right, look at this story. Washington woman who bragged on police's Facebook page about getting away got arrested. True genius here. That right there is the face of absolute brilliance. A Washington state woman who trolled a police department's Facebook page about getting away from the long arm of the law is now behind bars. The lesson here is if you do pull off something, which is fine because none of us are saints, and I'm certainly not going to say that I am one, perhaps it would be wise to not go ahead and brag about it on the police officer's Facebook page. Hello, Lauren LaPinta. I got Lauren, one of the best photographers. Shout out to Lauren. Amazing photographer. I got Matt from 6 Day Dream here. Alex, Paul, Ken. Oh, that's great. I might start posting both of these. I'm trying to run both at once. And this is pretty much the Dunce Cap of the Month award show that I'm doing here. So anyway, we'll get back into it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I think I found a new way to do this. Kyla Irazari, 19, was sentenced around 2:30 in the morning on Saturday, about 2 weeks after her first encounter with Moses Lake police officers. So listen to what this genius did. She was a passenger in a vehicle when cops conducted a traffic stop. The driver, 27, it was Powell, Giovanni Powell, was arrested for driving under suspension, but police officers let Izari go because they had no legal reason to detain her. Officers searched the vehicle and found the 19-year-old's ID along with a pistol, heroin, and her paperwork from the last time she was released from jail. I guess she was a convicted felon. So what does she do? She goes on to the Facebook page of the police and says they got multiple complaints about her bragging about getting away with it, which we believe is a #1 criminal karma here. So they promptly arrested her for firearm and heroin possession. Now, many of you know, if you've been a listener for any length of time whatsoever, that I am a libertarian. That is, I don't think anything needs to be outlawed, banned, none of that. If people are going to make their own decisions, for better or for worse. If people are going to use drugs, then I don't think anything should happen to them. Now, if they harm somebody on that, we already have laws against that. That can be dealt with. If you steal from somebody, yada, yada, yada. But the idea that we're spending a fortune locking people up makes no sense to me. But my overreaching here, being the Dunce Cap of the Month award show, my overreaching point here is that we are talking about some of the single stupidest people who have ever lived, and we aren't even to the winner yet. We have a couple to go before we get to the winner, as it were. Toggle to the correct screen, that would help. Domestic dispute in Germany. Man arguing with a parrot. Now, this is going to be brief, but it's for my good friend Glenna Holcomb, who has a macaw that will wake you up at all hours screaming. And if you've never been around a parrot, and heard how loud it can actually be, it will shatter your eardrums if you're close by. And in Berlin, Police were called to investigate a domestic disturbance in a southern German border town, and when they arrived, they found the man was merely arguing with his parrot. Guys, 2 to go before we're done. Now, the last 2 I had written and I got published almost back to back at Teddy Stick and the Conservative Daily Post, where I work. And the stories, both of them, stood out to be so unbelievably stupid that I almost couldn't pick which one I was going to give the Dunce Cap of the Month award to. We really have some classic idiots here, and there's 2 of them to go. Here's one of them. And I'm going to read it to you the way I wrote it, because the stupidity was well thought out and worded when I did it. Maine offers non-gender identification. Now, do I really care which gender you want to be? No, I really don't. But let's look at this from a logical perspective. I wrote, the Boston Globe has revealed that gender-neutral driver's licenses are going to be permitted in Maine as common sense and reason go the way of the dodo bird. If an accident happens and precious seconds are ticking by, a man dressed as a convincing lady, or vice versa, bleeding to death when medics arrive, is now going to be confusing the first responders even more with an X where gender is. Sure, I wrote, it would only take seconds, precious seconds, to figure it out properly. Tick, tick, tick. With this logic firmly lost, anyone will be able to fill out a gender designation form, and they will be issued an ID which says gender has been changed to X, non-binary, in the state of Maine. Even these cards won't change anyone's sex, I wrote, any more than the gender reassignment surgeries do, but it makes the left feel as if they've accomplished something other than confusion, which they have not. Now, let me clarify this. I'm not saying that I think anybody who has a sex change, an addictomy, whatever, I have no problem with it. I don't care. It's not my body. However, to imply that it biologically changes your sex is a lie. If you cut off a man's schlong, you may make him feel better, but you did not turn him into a woman on a biological level. You simply made him a mutilated man on a physical level. His DNA is still male, and that's what matters when precious seconds are at work here and you're dying. I wrote, by July of 2019, X will be unavailable on all cards. Already, the doltish people at Equity Maine are calling this a win as Maine joins Oregon, California, and the District of Columbia in this folly. Pardon me. The group's president filed a complaint to set the ball rolling in the state. Who knows what trouble will follow the decision? This move does not change the basic problem that so many people of the LGBT community have, which is that they want some validation that there is more than 2 genders. Basically, they want everyone to buy into a personal delusion and what some consider a mental disorder. Sadly for them, they live in fantasy land. Furthermore, there is nothing that can be done to alter the sex that one is born with. This includes getting the state of Maine to play along nicely and making them stamp X's on ID cards. Therefore, this is a step in the march away from basic logic and reason. The Lord only knows what madness will happen next as the brainless agenda moves onward. And again, friends, I don't care who you sleep with, and Lord knows I have enough sexual sins in my past to bury me forever, with no hope of ever finding the bones. However, I don't think that what we're talking about here needs to happen. This is confusing and it's dangerous. However, it was not dumb enough to win the Dunce Cap of the Month award, which you're getting now. If you wish to donate to the show, please do. I got 3 halogen lights in here that cost a small fortune, internet bills, study time, blah, 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 blah. You can help me do it at thecorrectviews@hotmail.com. The money you donate goes towards a better show. Again, it's thecorrectviews@hotmail.com through PayPal. If you're wondering what is wrong with my right eye, my contact lenses rebelled against me. All right, friends, here's the Dunce Cap of the Month. Dumbest story I saw, and I got to write it for the Conservative Daily Post. So I'm going to read this one to you and then show you the awards. For some reason, as the Bundys have proven, the U.S. government feels that it has the rights, which the Constitution makes clear that it does not. This fact is seen again in Long Island, New York, as a man named Parrot Leonardos is being fined $22,500 for chopping down trees on his own land. Now keep in mind, it's his property. We may as well just take the Constitution, I swear, and put it directly into the paper shredder. They posed a very real danger to everyone on the property, CBS New York has confirmed. The man and his family were concerned that people might be injured by one damaged tree in particular. In a nation where the Fourth Amendment and the Constitution are supposed to protect citizens, decisions on one's own property are no longer up to the owner. Apparently, taking initiative to do what was right made him a violator because he did not jump through hoops, grovel at the proper authorities, or go through the proper channels to tend to his own land. The Nassau County wooded property in the village of Muttontown, I wrote, has been the home of Leonardo since he was 12 years old. He must have hate for the land. He's not a greenie weenie. Superstorm Sandy beat mercilessly on the property, splintering and splitting the trees. Some in the front yard have been replaced with bushes, but one tree fell, damaging 6 others, and all 7 needed to be removed for safety reasons. Even experts said that the trees could not be saved, yet Muttontown village attorney Stephen Liebenthal, who is part of this ward here, says cutting down trees in the North Shore community is like polluting beaches on the South Shore. What he fails to understand is that unlike the South Shore, the Leonardos own this land, and what he does is none of anyone's business. Trees 7 inches or more need a permit to be removed. This law runs counter to the founding document, so it needs scrapped from the books rather than enforced. The law allows for emergency removal, and somehow the city wanted the family to suffer the risk of trees falling on them or their house until the proper papers were signed. We got a call, admitted the owner. Our arborist went out and saw the trees already down. He said they were healthy. He is being fined $250 for each tree inch measured. If he does not pay, he faces 15 days in jail, which is easier of a pill to swallow, I wrote, if faced with such injustice. I wish I made $22,000 in 15 days. Put me in jail, good Lord. I take it back, I'm kidding. He plans to go to jail, costing the city more money, which I think is great, instead of paying them. This is exactly what they deserve, too. If someone is not endangering anyone else on their own land, the landowner has the God-given right to use and protect it however they like. Instead, this expensive and needless battle has carried on for 5 years, and the city claims that he is the only person who has not bowed to their strong arming. That is all the more reason for him to keep resisting, I wrote. And friends, I'm going to show you what I am mailing them. I'm going to show you the hat, and then I'm going to jump off here. This is the award that they are being sent. Let me make sure Facebook can see it. Good, you can. Wonderful. And this is what it says. The Dunce Cap of the Month Award. This Dunce Cap of the Month Award goes without question to Muttontown Village Attorney Stephen Liebenthal for failing to understand the Constitution affords each person the right to care for their land as they see fit. The founding document came before all foolish local demands contrary. Secondly, for failing to understand that after a storm, Pericles Leonardos had every reason to take down the trees because they were a health hazard to every person who came onto the land. He also had every right. For failing to understand these simple truths while somehow being an attorney is an insult to the demands of the law and an insult to the profession. Now, here's what I'm sending them. Here is their dunce cap, and there you can see the tree about to topple onto the house here, and this is what I wrote. So I wonder why he wishes to cut it down. All right, friends, that's going to get mailed to him, and it's going to get sent, and it's going to be wonderful, and it's going to be helpful because you guys helped me pay for it at thecorrectviews@hotmail.com through PayPal. Good night, friends. God bless.